All right, and we're back. GG's to Razi on that last set. I had no clue. I was like, wait, what does Poltegeist do? For a second, I thought I was about to click Trick Room one of those turns, like, in all honesty. So, awesome game to Razi. Really fun team, really fun set. We're super excited here. We've got our third match of the night. About this time, every time I try and remind everyone, if you are enjoying this and you aren't already following us, we'd love if you press the follow button. You can get notified whenever we go live on Monday nights. Helps us out. And if you join our Discord, you can also... yeah, tea time was awesome, Razi. If you join our Discord, which I'll go ahead and drop in here, you can join for these battles on Monday nights. So, right off the bat here, we are seeing a very interesting... almost mirror match. Rollercoaster has been kind of known to end up with the mirror matches here in the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies. So we see both teams carrying a Politoed. I guess it's not a true mirror match. So the 6 from Rollercoaster are Politoed, Kingdra, Urshifu, Amoonguss, Togekiss, and Magnezone. And then the 6 from Will are Politoed, Amoonguss, Magnezone, Mudsdale, Surfetched, and I think that's Noivern in there. I'm struggling to see it. It's kind of small on my screen. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. There we go. Now it's much bigger so I can see it. All right, so here we go. We've got game number 1 of set 3 of the night. So Rollercoaster versus Sir Wilson. So let's see what the leads end up being here. I know Rollercoaster has been toying around with this rain team for quite some time, and he's been kind of brute forcing it into working. So from Sir Wilson, we see the shiny Amoonguss that was released in the event from Korea recently, alongside a Magnezone. And from Rollercoaster, we see his own Amoonguss to match, as well as the Togekiss. So in this instance, there is... a Magnezone which threatens dual stab onto that Togekiss, but Rollercoaster does have access to redirection. So I know Rollercoaster was doing the commentary all by himself on the last one. I'm going to be all by myself on this one. So chat, if y'all could help me out, I would love talking with y'all, and it makes it a little bit easier than when I'm just talking to myself here. So here we see turn 1 Dynamax from Rollercoaster. We see that Togekiss get big and give the little flippy kicks. It's so adorable the way those feet go. So let's see what comes out from Sir Wilson. We see a Rage Powder from Rollercoaster, and, yeah, go teams. That's so right, Razi. And we see a Max Airstream into Sir Wilson's Amoonguss, which happens to be holding a Koba Berry, which is going to cut down on the amount of damage that Max Airstream does. So it looks like there was no crit, so no indication as to whether or not this is maybe a crit kiss or something else. And then now we see the Flash Cannon come out from the from the Magnezone into the Amoonguss. So now the Sludge Bomb going into the Togekiss and gets the poison, proccing Togekiss's item. So now we do know what item this Togekiss is. It is Lumberry. So that's really good information for Sir Wilson throughout the rest. That, it's not as free of a Sleep Powder or something along those lines, or Spore in this case, into that Pokemon. I don't think that Amoonguss would live another. We see an Ally Switch come out from the Magnezone. This Ally Switch is going to be leading to that Max Airstream actually hitting the Magnezone for not very much damage, as opposed to where it could have hit the Amoonguss for enough for the KO, presumably. So now this Togekiss and this Amoonguss are at +2 speed each. The Amoonguss goes for Spore, but it doesn't affect the opposing Amoonguss after the Ally Switch. So now that the Lumberry has been procced, Sir Wilson's free to go for a Spore and put that Togekiss to sleep. So let's see how Rollercoaster adjusts here. Yeah, we are seeing status all over this episode. We've already seen one poison, one paralyze. In set number 1, we saw how important the freeze could be. So let's see the way the rest of this matchup lines up. If in this positioning, Sir Wilson's going to be feeling pretty good. He's going to be burning some of Rollercoaster's Dynamax, and he's going to go ahead and switch into the Noivern, a Pokemon that I don't think I've really seen a whole lot here in VGC. So we see the what's coming out? The Flash Cannon into the Togekiss does a lot of damage. That was quite a bit. And the Spore comes out here into the finally into the Magnezone, finding its home. We have our third third status of the game with 2 sleeps and 1 poison. So, given where this is going right now, again, Sir Wilson's feeling pretty confident. He's got his Noivern in. I know that it does get access to Tailwind, so that's one move that it could be going for here, to go ahead and guarantee the speed control despite the max airstreams from Togekiss. So, Rollercoaster opting for his own form of speed control goes ahead and switches in the Politoed here, setting the Drizzle, gets the Wake Up, and goes for a Dazzling Gleam, doing a pretty good chunk to that Noivern there, about 70%. So a Taunt comes out from Noivern into the Politoed, so that Politoed can only go for attacking moves, and Magnezone stays asleep. So, given this, it feels like that Politoed is forced to attack, and the Togekiss is super free to go for another Dazzling Gleam, and that will pick up the KO in a Noivern. The Magnezone is threatening a KO here, though, so he's got to be aware of that. So we see Noivern go ahead and switch out, not wanting to take another Dazzling Gleam, and we see the Amoonguss in that Cherish Ball come back out to go ahead and eat this Dazzling Gleam pretty handily. So, it does get a critical hit onto that Amoonguss, but again, not really doing a whole lot. So, now we see a Scald in the Rain from the Politoed is enough to go ahead and pick up the KO on the Magnezone before it even has a chance to wake up. Now, Sir Wilson will have to pivot back into either his 4th Pokemon, or we'll see the Noivern come back out. So, and at this point, with what Rollercoaster has in the back, he's got to be feeling pretty decent, given the fact that he's got a +1 speed Togekiss, which should go ahead and obliterate this Sirfetch'd. Now he has the option to go ahead and either go for a KO on the Sirfetch'd, the Dazzling Gleam, but he has to be aware of that Spore coming from the Amoonguss, so it looks like he's opting to go for an attack that should take out the Amoonguss before it even has a chance to go for the Spore. And also, Scald is not going to do nothing to that Sirfetch'd here in the Rain, and has the ability to go ahead and burn, which would have its physical attack stat. So, given this positioning for Sir Wilson, I think I might want to pivot around. Oh, that's right, we haven't seen the Dynamax yet from Sir Wilson, and it looks like it's the no, that is the Sirfetch'd. Sorry, the Amoonguss is not in a Master Ball, it's in a Cherish Ball. I was about to say... we see the Dynamax shiny Sirfetch'd come out. That's a very good looking Pokemon. It kind of looks like a banana holding a banana for a second with the way the onion peel is. So, we see the Air Slash here come out. It's going to be enough. Oh, that Amoonguss lives on 1 with a Phantom Focus Sash off of a crit. Incredible. And now we see the max Airstream is enough for a KO from that Sirfetch'd to go ahead and pick up the KO into Togekiss, and presumably this Amoonguss is probably about to hit Spore after the Scald damage comes off. He does look like a very angry bird, you're right, Rozzy. Oh my gosh, and the burn on Sirfetch'd, and the flinch on Amoonguss. Wow, that is a crazy turn of events there for Rollercoaster. The fact that he didn't have to eat a Spore, as well as getting the burn onto the Sirfetch'd, severely limiting the amount of damage it can do for the remainder of this game. So now this Kingdra will be the first Pokemon moving. We are continuing with more and more statuses stacking up, as it's being pointed out in chat right now by Rozzy. This is wild. Like, this game is insane, and I'm really enjoying it. That Hurricane does a lot, and again, we see the Sirfetch'd live on 1 HP with a near Phantom Focus Sash. It's going to go for a max Airstream. After the burn, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage into that Kingdra, but it is going to give the 2nd speed boost to this Amoonguss, which might just be now fast enough. Nope, it is not fast enough to outspeed this Politoed. That's right, that is a 0 speed Amoonguss, because it was the distribution, unless Sir Wilson has bottle capped at 231 speed. So the burn is enough to go ahead and pick up the KO into that Sirfetch'd, and now it is Noivern in a 1v3 against a Kingdra as well as Politoed and an Amoonguss in the back. So it's looking pretty rough here for Sir Wilson. And it looks like Rollercoaster is probably going to be taking this turn 1, but might Rollercoaster might opt to try and figure out some more information about this Noivern. But I honestly don't think it's going to get much of a chance to move this Draco Meteor. Yeah, Sir Wilson opts to go ahead and preserve the information, whether it's carrying Protect or something else. So he clearly has an idea of what he wants to do for the remainder of the game. So going in here to battle number 2, this could be the decisive battle if Rollercoaster is able to take it. Rollercoaster, up until this point, is still undefeated in these ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies, extending all the way back to before we had other people on stream, and it was just the 4 of us doing it every week. So Rollercoaster has a really good idea of what he wants to do in this scenario. He locks in almost instantly, and he's ready to go. So the adjustment here from Sir Wilson, looking at his team, it's interesting. It looks like there are several Pokemon that want to operate under Trick Room, but I don't see a Trick Room setter, which is an interesting strategy. Outside of, again, I don't know, does Noivern potentially get Trick Room? That would be a really strange move for a Pokemon that also gets Tailwind. So I guess we'll see what happens here. 2 very cool looking trainer cards. We've got Rollercoaster versus Sir Wilson in Game 2 here on our ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies. So the lead from Sir Wilson, yeah, if Whimsicott can do it, so can Noivern. That's very true. Charisma. So we see the lead is Politoed and Magnezone into Togekiss and Amoonguss. So again, that Magnezone is threatening some damage here, given the fact that it has dual stabs that are super effective against Togekiss. But this turn, it feels like Lunala, I believe. There's a question in chat whether or not Lunala can set both too. So I know Lunala can set Trick Room. I'm unsure as to whether it can set Tailwind. We can check that on Cerebi after the game. Or if someone else in chat happens to know that answer, that'd be great. So in this positioning, Rollercoaster, I think, goes for a very safe play of going for the max guard so that he can't receive any damage, and he's going to be going for a Spore into that Magnezone slot. So we see the Love Ball Togekiss, which is one of the best Togekiss. Oh, it can do both, coming in from Charisma. Thanks, Charisma. Yeah, that's something I haven't seen it do both in the past, but super exciting. So let's see what happens here. We see a turn 1 Dynamax from Sir Wilson. If this is the Magnezone, I think that Rollercoaster is in a really good position. Unless this Magnezone is able to get Electric Train set before the Spore goes off. I'm unsure as to the speed interaction. I should have been paying slightly more attention last game, the speed interaction between these two. But we see the Max Guard come out from Togekiss. And if the Max Lightning's into that Togekiss, then it's not going to be setting the Electric Terrain. So we see the Muddy Water come out, and that actually... or no, I'm sorry, not Muddy Water. What move was that lowered the speed? Icy Wind is what that was. And the Spore is going to be enough to go ahead and put that Magnezone to sleep. So, it was a Move Tutor move in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Yeah, so I think it'll be really interesting to see what they do with Move Tutor moves with Pokemon going forward. Comfy can apparently do both as well. That is kind of terrifying, thinking about the amount of priority Comfy has. So we see here a Max Airstream into the Politoed. It's going to do really close to 50%, and then I think we're about to see either a Sludge Bomb or a second Spore come out. So he goes... We continue the theme of wild status with a Hypnosis, a raw Hypnosis coming from the Politoed and putting the Togekiss to sleep before it briefly wakes up from its nap on the... Hey there, how's it going? Sorry, bot. Yeah, the raw Hypnosis. Thanks for the follow, bot. Welcome to the stream. We are right now in the middle of Game 2 of our third best of 3. That Lum is coming in clutch. So here we see the Rage Powder come out from the Amoonguss with the Max Airstream into the Politoed. It's going to be enough to pick up the KO on that Politoed. And let's see what this Magnezone goes for. So now we've got a plus, I believe 2 or 3. I might have missed one of those interactions. And the Magnezone stays asleep for another turn. So let's see what Sir Wilson has in the back. I think at this point, you really have to give the advantage to Rollercoaster. He's been able to utilize his Dynamax far more effectively in this matchup. So he's got +2 or +3 on that Togekiss, and that Magnezone has spent most of its time Dynamaxed asleep. It went into a max guard the first turn, and it proceeded to sleep for 2 turns after that. So that would be actually +2 speed on that Togekiss because of that first turn max guard. So with the Mudsdale here, Mudsdale with an Assault Vest can be relatively specially bulky, but unfortunately I don't know what's going to stop it from taking a Spore in this case. There's no way that it can outspeed the... no way that it can actually outspeed the Togekiss in this instance. So, Rollercoaster debating back and forth kind of which move he wants to go for. He opts for the Togekiss Heat Wave. Mudsdale avoids. Was that it? That was a dual avoid from... And then Amoonguss avoids. We just missed 3 out of the 4 attacks on that last turn. The way that Rollercoaster is going for this, it's also possible that this might be... I don't think we've seen a ton of crits come out. I'm not sure if this is Super Luck or if it is Serene Grace. We'll find out after the matchup for that. But now with that Mudsdale sleep, the Amoonguss is pretty safe to kind of do whatever it wants. We're more or less guaranteed that this Magnezone wakes up, and there's nothing that the Amoonguss can do to the Magnezone. So looks like we have another Heat Wave here, another avoid from the Magnezone. That's 2 straight turns avoiding a Heat Wave in the rain. It wakes up, goes for the Thunder into the Togekiss, and that's going to be enough for the KO. So dodging 2 out of 2 Heat Waves, someone should get that Magnezone onto the dodgeball field. So let's see. Now to reset, we've got the Magnezone, which is now awake, but slower than the Amoonguss at +2. We've got a Kingdra coming in here, which will outspeed both of these Pokemon. And the Mudsdale has taken only 1 of its mandatory turns of sleep. So in this scenario, Rollercoaster can continue to use this fast Amoonguss. And let's see. He might be switching in the Politoed here to go ahead and get the guaranteed Hurricane hit, or just to get some additional speed. But yeah, thanks for coming out, Bat. Glad you found us. We do our stream here every Monday night. We host a series of either 3 to 4 best of VGC best of 3s, and we kind of feature different battlers, and we typically have 2 people commentating. Tonight we're short on commentators. We only had 2 total, so the other commentator, Rollercoaster, is currently playing, and we're using his capture card here. So this Muddy Water in the Rain does a lot to that Mudsdale, and even to that Magnezone. So yeah, you should totally if you want to come check out, if you want to battle in these on Monday night, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the Discord, and that Thunder comes in and unfortunately is enough to go ahead and KO the Kingdra. So the Mudsdale stays asleep here, which is nice. Let me go ahead and drop the Discord link for you if you want to go ahead and join. I believe that's the correct link. I haven't tested it tonight. That looks like our Discord, yes. So we post the signups for these on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Yeah, for sure. I really appreciate that. We can definitely chat and circle back around about that after the fact, Charisma. So in this scenario, Rollercoaster has both of Sir Wilson's Pokemon asleep. Or no, sorry, he only has the Mudsdale asleep at this point, but the Politoed can pick up the KO onto that Magnezone before it has the ability to attack. I believe there's a pretty good chance that this Mudsdale wakes up here. Yep, it does wake up. It goes for the high horsepower into the Amoonguss, does about half, and then the Sludge Bomb's going to come out here and be enough to pick... Nope, it is not enough to pick up the KO onto Mudsdale. I take it back. It's not very effective, and I think that Mudsdale might just be Assault Vest. Awesome. Well, thanks and welcome to the Discord, Bot. So now we see Sir Wilson's own Amoonguss come out. So now we have the dueling Amoongusses with more opportunities for status. So from here, it's probably a pretty free Rage Powder from Sir Wilson's. But from Roller Coaster's standpoint, he pretty much has to click that Scald button to put the pressure on, because one Scald will be enough to pick up the KO on Mudsdale. So for as long as he's doing this, he's denying the Spore. So this, let's see how much this does. Not very much. That is almost nothing. And the high horsepower we saw last turn was enough for a 2-hit KO into the Amoonguss. And now it really looks like Sir Wilson might just have this game wrapped up, as he can continue to just Rage Powder and go for high horsepowers, stalling out both the rain and decreasing the amount of damage that it's even possible. So here we see the Rage Powder again. Perhaps Roller Coaster fishing for a burn for some extra damage, but also this is, I believe, the only damaging move on his Politoed, and in a scenario like this, we see the Body Press come out from Sir Wilson, and that, despite being, I think, plus 2 or 3, only does about half. Roller Coaster kind of recognizing that there isn't really a way through this core at this point, so he's going to go ahead and cancel the battle and decide to try and reconfigure what he can do for game 3. So now we are entering the decisive game 3 of set 3 of the night. So we've had 3 sets. We had our very first set was Charisma versus Amy, Woke Flossie. In the second set, I played Rozzy. And then here in the third set, we've got Roller Coaster versus Sir Wilson. So let's see kind of how these battlers adjust to what is, I think, so far can only be described as Status Fest 2020, and that's saying a lot given everything that's happened in 2020. So, Charisma did win in the first set. Woke Flossie wants to see sicko mode, so this is definitely a unique set of teams brought by both these battlers. I know that Roller Coaster is typically a Sun battler. He really likes using Sun as an archetype, so he's kind of been forcing himself to play Rain lately and has gotten very good with this specific team. Let's see what happens here. Roller Coaster locks in real quickly, and Sir Wilson will kind of take a few more seconds to think about it. Looks like both battlers have locked in, and we're going to go ahead and go into game number 3. Again, I'm sorry I'm commentating this by myself tonight. It's a little different than what we normally do. We've had to manage with one commentator, but got some great discussion going on in chat about one of the earlier battles. Super fun set, which we will be posting to our YouTube after the fact. We were a little backlogged right now on videos, but that will be coming up within the next week onto YouTube. So we see Sir Wilson opt to go for the same lead that he went for in game number 2 that was super successful for him, and we see Roller Coaster also lead the exact same set that he did in the last one. So curious to see, given what happened last time with the Max Guard into the Spore, if Sir Wilson adjusts and perhaps targets into the Amoonguss, or does something else so that he can try and deny some of these attempts at sleep that Roller Coaster has been so effective at putting so many things to sleep with his Amoonguss, which is exactly what Amoonguss does. So we see a Protect turn 1 from that Magnezone, and I think I've got an idea of what might be coming from this Politoed. And we see the Max Flare go into the Magnezone, resetting the weather, putting a lot of pressure onto this Magnezone for the next turn. There is no way of resetting the rain instantly, so Sir Wilson's Magnezone's in a lot of damage, and that's exactly what I was thinking might be coming out. It is another Raw Hypnosis. It is another Connect from Sir Wilson. I'm not sure if that is a wide lens on that Politoed or what item it's carrying, but that is 2 for 2 in terms of hitting Hypnosises. So in this positioning, the Magnezone is incredibly threatened. It might be a time for Sir Wilson to go ahead and pivot that out, but the Amoonguss is also threatened. Yeah, this entire set has been an insane display of status and RNG. Like, This is super exciting, and I can't believe the way that this is going so far. But we see the Polytoad actually come out, and what are we gonna? We see an ally switch come out. Did Rollercoaster read the ally switch? We saw ally switch in the first game. We see the Max Flare. It goes into the... did not read it. Went into the Mudsdale. So what I'm fully expecting is probably a switch in from that Polytoad next turn. Yeah, wide lens, potentially. We're not sure, perhaps that Polytoad just spent a lot of days at the gym working on its hypnosis, but it's been pretty effective at landing at this game. So now there is an opportunity. Oh, we see a switch out of Polytoad into the Magnezone slot, and now it looks as if Sir Wilson has established weather control, depending on what move Rollercoaster went for here. And we do see the Dynamax come out from this Mudsdale. It's at +1 defense from the Heat Wave on the Max Flare on the previous turn. So it can go for a big Max Rockfall here into the Togekiss, or it could go for damage into that Amoonguss as well. So Amoonguss remains asleep, unfortunately, this turn, and we see the Max Flare into the Polytoad, and it does almost nothing, which is really unfortunate to see from a Max move. You hate to see it, but let's see. We see the Max Steel Spike come out into that Togekiss, boosting the Mudsdale's defense by another stage, so now it's up 2 whole stages of defense, one from the Stamina and one from the Max Steel Spike. So whenever it's done with its Dynamax, it'll be in a pretty nice position to go for body presses. So it looks like Rollercoaster is going to go ahead and opt, knowing that he has this turn where potentially the Polytoad might be switching out to try and reestablish weather control. He has the ability here to go ahead and try and put this Mudsdale to sleep, or potentially call a switch in from either an Amoonguss or another one of Sir Wilson's Pokemon, going for the Air Slash into that slot. So really interesting. I'm curious to see what Sir Wilson's going to do here. It looks like everyone stays in. The Air Slash comes out into that Polytoad. Polytoad does in fact flinch. It can't move. Max Rockfall comes out. It should be enough to go ahead and pick up the KO onto this Togekiss. Yeah, it does. Sorry, my video froze for a second. I was like, wow, did it live on 5? It did not. It goes down. And now the weather has been changed yet again to sand. So instead of, I think this is our 3rd weather of the matchup. We've seen rain, we've seen sun, and now we've seen sand. And again, we have this Mudsdale go ahead and it's taking a nap. So, given the order in which the sand is hitting, we know that the Polytoad is faster than that Amoonguss. We've seen that interaction throughout the game. And again, the Mudsdale won't be hit by any sand based on its typing. So here we have Kingdra, and Kingdra has a very nice special attack stat. It is going to be faster than both the Mudsdale and the Polytoad, so it doesn't even need its weather in order to do that. So we actually see Sir Wilson go ahead and opt to switch out his Dynamax before taking a guaranteed turn of sleep, and switching into the Amoonguss, which is a great pivot given what Sir Wilson, or given what Rollercoaster actually went for here with this Muddy Water. If you get some accuracy drops, this could be devastating. There is an accuracy drop onto that Polytoad. Will it be able to hit another Hypnosis? It finally misses the Hypnosis at -1 stage of accuracy. So another wild turn of events with these RNG. This is just an absolutely crazy set going every which way. I can't keep track. So now we see the speed order of all the Pokemon on the field, since they're all going to be taking SAM damage. In this case, it looks as if Rollercoaster is going to attempt to go ahead and preserve some damage. Did I see Protect? Yeah, we do see Kingdra go for Protect here to go ahead and avoid taking a Spore. And we actually see the Amoonguss match the Protect. Incredibly smart move from Sir Wilson, drawing out, wasting one of the mandatory turns of sleep from that Polytoad. But again, that Polytoad is at -1 stage of accuracy. It's kind of a catch-22, because if Sir Wilson withdraws the Polytoad and brings it back in, it gives an immediate speed boost and damage boost to that Kingdra on its Muddy Water. So here we see a Sludge Bomb. Oh, that's yeah. So I think we're gonna see here. Rollercoaster is really decisive in making these in making his moves. He's played this team a lot, so he's pretty familiar of what he wants to do, kind of going into every turn. So we see him go ahead and withdraw the Kingdra and bring in the Polytoad to go ahead and reset the weather. So it's no longer sand, and now it is in fact raining. And Sir Wilson withdraws the Amoonguss and sends in presumably that Magnezone, yeah, which will not take any damage from a Sludge Bomb coming out of Rollercoaster's Amoonguss. So in this case, both players still have, or I'm sorry, Rollercoaster only has 3 of his Pokemon versus Sir Wilson's 4 Pokemon, 2 of which are currently asleep. So in this instance, it feels like with that Magnezone on the field, with the rain up, it's not like Rollercoaster has any additional fire-type moves, but he doesn't want to be taking any kind of sleep here. So it goes for the Protect, and the Scald damage only hits into that Protect. There is another Wake from that Polytoad. It goes for another Hypnosis, but again, because it is at -1 stage of accuracy, it's not going to be enough. So perhaps this might be a Perish Song in-game. Woke Flossie has pointed that out in the chat, so that would be really interesting. We saw last week Nibs clicked the Perish Song button, but then ended up picking up the remaining KOs that he needed before Perish Song expired. But given the fact that both these players have Amoonguss, they might be roughly the same speed. I'm not sure if Sir Wilson's is... Or we know that Sir Wilson's is min speed, and Rollercoaster will know whether or not his own Amoonguss is min speed. So in that instance, if it's Perish Song and both the Amoonguss are on the field, then it's a 50-50 coin toss on who wins. So we see a Helping Hand from the Magnezone here, or from the Polytoad into the Magnezone, and a Scald from Rollercoaster's Magnezone to just miss out on the KO on the Polytoad. So a big Thunder, Helping Hand Thunder, is enough to go ahead and pick up the KO on Rollercoaster's Polytoad. So now resetting with these 2 Pokemon, the Spore also comes out, putting that Magnezone to sleep. Is Rollercoaster's Scarf, or I don't believe so. I think that Rollercoaster just has speed investment versus Sir Wilson's probably not having very much speed investment. It's definitely been moving first. So, let's see here. Given that Rollercoaster is down to his last 2 Pokemon, Magnezone has not taken its mandatory turn of sleep, so he's able to kind of pivot around that, but it seems like a switch in here to Amoonguss feels pretty free for Sir Wilson, and the only way that Rollercoaster really has to punish that is to go for a Hurricane, and it looks like the Amoonguss will be coming back out. It's going, though, into the Magnezone slot, again switching out Magnezone before it takes any turns of sleep. Yeah, so the Muddy Water will be enough to go ahead and KO that Polytoad. And we'll see here as the Amoonguss goes for a Sludge Bomb into the opposing Amoonguss, so the shiny Amoonguss has taken a Sludge Bomb in this instance. So, resetting where everything is, we have the final 2 Pokemon from Rollercoaster with Amoonguss and Kingdra versus Sir Wilson's Amoonguss, his Amoonguss, his Magnezone, as well as 1 Pokemon in the back. I don't believe that we have seen that. We see the Protect here come out from Amoonguss. Feels pretty safe, especially given the fact that Magnezone hasn't taken any damage up until this point. It seems as if Rollercoaster might... Oh my gosh, did that miss the Magnezone as well? Oh, there have been so many missed attacks in this game. Jeez. With that also has the rain expire for the remainder of the game because Sir Wilson left in his Polytoad so as to not recycle the weather. So, given where these 2 players are at, the Magnezone has taken 1 turn of sleep, so it can wake up here. It is faster than the Amoonguss, we know that, but it is not faster than the than the Kingdra. Obviously, there's no way it could be. So in this instance, really interesting. Timer endgame is possible right here. We can, next time Rollercoaster is selecting either a move or Pokemon, we can go ahead and take a peek at how much time is remaining on his time. We haven't seen the 3-minute come out. Looks as if the Koba Berry, it is going to connect here with that Amoonguss. Does it get a confusion? It does not get the confusion hit. So the Magnezone wakes up after its one turn of, and it hits a Thunder outside of Weather. Both players hitting moves that are far less effective outside the range. So this actually, I believe, is a win for Sir Wilson. Now with no moves that can hit that Magnezone. Yeah, with no moves that can hit the Magnezone, I don't think that there's a way through for Rollercoaster. So it looks like he's going to go ahead and opt to go ahead and quit in that instance. So that was quite possibly one of the craziest sets I've seen in terms of missed moves, hit moves, status going every which way. It was so hard to keep track. So really good set from our two opponents. Unfortunately not the cleanest set, but you know, hey, Pokemon is an RNG based game. We saw a whole lot of status tonight. We saw a whole lot of RNG. So thanks everyone for coming out. If y'all give us 1 second, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Rollercoaster and we'll come back and kind of give our closing thoughts. As well as probably plug the Discord one more time. So give me 1 sec while I cut to be right back, and we'll see you very shortly.
Hey, you like that video? We think you should check this out, and YouTube thinks you should check this one out. Be sure to subscribe for more content.